Players will often come up to me and say, I want to get better at this or I want to improve at this. A lot of times, my first question back to them would be, well, how often do you practice that? The response probably won't surprise you, but often the answer is not very often. And then I ask back, well, you just told me you want to improve on that. So, how are you improving on that if you're not working on it? And I bring this up because a lot of times players are looking for practice with their team or practice with a coach to be how they improve at something. And if it's something that you really want to improve on, that can't be your only moment working on those skills. You can't go to a session with a coach. You can't just go to your team session hoping you can get better with your left foot or hoping your crossing is going to improve or your finishing or being able to receive the ball out of the air. When I hear players telling me, "Hey, I want to get better at receiving out of the air, or receive, or finishing, or doing any of these tasks that they know they need to improve at," it's hurting their game. And they know they'd be a better player if they do it. That's the first question I ask: is how often do you do it on your own? And if any player is listening to this, if the answer is little or none, then you really don't want to improve. You kind of just wish you were better at it, which is completely different. There's a lot of things I wish I was better at, but something I want to be better at takes time, repetition, and a lot of effort individually to do it. Your coaches, your teams, and those training sessions will help. But if you really want to be better at something, then if you tell your coach that, you better be prepared to say, I've been working all week on this, or I've been spending 15 minutes a day doing this in my basement. That shows the coach or someone else that you're serious. That player really does want to get better at that. They're not just wishing they're better at something. So we can't confuse the two. Wishing I was better at something and wanting better at something is completely different. Players that truly want to be better at something will work on it often, if not daily. They won't just tell their coach or just work on it at practice when they arrive at training. They will do it all the time, depending on how bad they want to get better at it. But that's a key thing that every player has to understand, because it's a conversation I have all the time and it comes up. I hear that I want to get better at this, I want to get better at that, I want to do this, I want to be able to do this on the field, I'm struggling with this. This is something my coach has told me I need to improve on. Okay. How often are you working on it? And you might say, oh, well, I need a coach to tell me what to do. Coach can kind of help give you pointers, stuff like that. But when it comes down to it, it takes time and repetition. Are you out back striking 50, 100 balls a night with your right and left foot to work on your ball striking? Are you throwing the ball up in the air 100, 200 times and receiving it with different parts of the body to bring it down? Are you hitting a ball off the wall as hard as you can to over and over again to work on your first touch and turning and receiving? If the answer is no, then if you're trying to get better in those areas or you want to get better, then you really don't want to. You show you want to do something not by saying you want to do something. It's by your actions. It's by the time you put into it. People will talk until they're blue in the face about what they want to do or what they will do. The only thing that matters is what you actually do. So for players out there that want to get better at something, you want to truly get better at something, you're not just wishing, you have to spend the time to get better at it. It's that simple. There's no magic trick, there's no potion or special activity or drill to do. You just have to work on it. And that's the answer that most don't want to hear, because often that's not what they want to do.